Hello and welcome to the Palmer Performance Workshop. Now it's been a while, but we decided to drag the GSXR750K7 Track bike out of the corner of the workshop and actually get the thing back together and up and running. So this video, a few little jobs. We've got a new exhaust silencer to go on it. We'll show you that first. We've bought some bits to sort out the rear sets, get them fixed. And then we're just going to get the airbox and everything back on, get it up and running, and then we'll take it to Track Electronics for a dyno check and see whether it's all healthy. Stay tuned. Okay, so I've been a cheapskate. I've bought a new silencer for the GSXR and it is an eBay special, but it's from a company called Motorcycle Parts Warehouse, and I've had a few bits from them before, and for the money you can't really sort of complain. And in the end, this is a cheap track bike build. It's not some full-blown super bike. So we've got a clamp and a exhaust hanger there. Not exhaust hanger, exhaust strap. Typically I should have put my phone on a stand for doing this, but it's all nicely wrapped though. It even comes in a special little bag. Yeah. Let's have a look. Well, to be fair, that looks pretty nice. It is only a track bike after all, didn't need to be anything special. Got a decent baffle in there of sorts, a removable one, so we can have a play with that and just clamps on. Question is, will it fit? Yeah, I think that should do. It's slightly longer than the one that was on there because of noise issues and stuff like that. I think by the time we sort of tweaked everything, it shouldn't be too bad. Needs to sit about there, I guess. Nice. So when I get some more spare time, I'll get that bolted up properly. Spot on. So I'll just show you where we're at with this silencer. Obviously in that little clip there, I showed you we got it on. Looks pretty good. Fits okay. Now, the original bracket for the silencer that sort of came on the bike didn't really work very well. I'm not even sure if it was an original one. So I've had to sort of make something up here, and that's actually made up out of part of an old ride height gauge that I'd manufactured ages ago for an R6. So it's just a bit of stainless steel. Just folded it in the appropriate places, bolted it onto the rear set, and then that will go back on there. Now, I was looking at these rear sets and realised actually the only real issue with them was the brake lever's slightly bent. So I'm going to take that off, and I'm pretty sure I'll be able to straighten that out good enough. And then the peg one side is half missing, and the peg this side, although it's kind of okay, the bolt's bent. So all I've done is actually just bought two generic M8 fitment foot pegs off good old eBay. And this side I'll replace the bolt with a new one to make it, that'll hopefully straighten that one out, because actually the back plates, these main bits here, look straight, and then this one will just be a straight swap over anyway. So that should solve our rear set issues without spending a whole load of money. I think these were only like 20 quid or something, 25 quid, so staying on the bargain theme. So yeah, we just got to do a couple of little more tweaks to that bracket and get that bolted up, and then we'll start cracking on the rear sets. So actually, interestingly, when I just throw this peg back on with the bolt that was on it, it does actually straighten itself up. So just looking at the brake lever, you can see where that little bush there has kind of got tweaked and bent in the crash. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to knock that bush out of the brake lever, and then I'm going to chuck it in my lathe and try and machine it so it's all square again, and then that should mean that the peg does up all square and we'll be away. And you see it's just a little tweak in that, so we'll probably warm that up a little bit and give that a little tweak back. Should be fine. So here we go, we've just got that little bush mounted in the lathe. So I just turn it on now and spin it up, you'll kind of see it wobbling. So literally all I'm going to do is just dress it up so it's all square again, and then hopefully that'll sort out our foot peg issue. There we go. So I managed to find a spare toe peg I had kicking around, so I swapped that out, straightened that out as best as I could. Which, to be fair, I don't think I've done a bad job. It lives to fight another day. And then this spacer, you can see I just re-machined the important faces. So hopefully it should all sit on their square now. I'm going to reassemble and see where it's at. What do we think? Not too bad a job. And hopefully that silencer and the little silencer down there, plus the baffle, should mean that it'll get through most UK noise limits on track days. If not, then it'd be a case of getting a link pipe made and having a bigger can up here, you know, mounted off the rear footrest hangers. But we can see how it goes with that. That rear set's actually repaired up really well. You can see now that's all nice and square and sitting how it should sit with the new peg on it. So I'm pretty pleased with that. I think that'll do the job, which obviously saved a good few £100 in replacements. So yeah, get the peg on the other side so they match, and that's the rear sets ticked off the list. Time to get the airbox back on and we can get this old girl fired back up. So just making sure that the velocity stacks are pushed all the way onto the throttle bodies and nipping up the really awkward to access Jubilee clips on the manifolds. Just utilising a ball end Allen key there. Makes the job a bit easier. Nice brand new high flow air filter going in. Needs a little bit of a push to make sure it's properly home and seated. Not forgetting to connect the air temperature sensor at the front of the airbox and then just screwing the airbox lid back on. That's the engine crankcase breather. Time for the fuel tank. So something I mentioned before in other videos, you know, when you plug the fuel tank in, make sure that the fuel hose clips onto the pump properly and that it's fully located and doesn't pull back off. That's me just turning the key on to pry the pump and it's ready to go. Well, she's ready to fire up for the first time since I bought the old girl. Now, if you remember on an earlier video, I did something quite specific to make sure I remember to do one job before starting it. And that was I left the rag cap off because I didn't refill it with water. So I'll get her filled up with water and then we'll go for a start. Here we go then. So I'm doing my usual thing, leaving the rag cap off when I first start it, just so I can top up the water as it circulates. Oh yeah, the old GSXR thing of having to pull the clutch in to start it. So let's use the old knee on the start button. Let's see how she goes. Oh yeah. On the button, purring like a kitten. That's not bad considering she's sat up for so long. Almost makes me wish I'd taken the baffle out so we could hear it properly, but anyway. We'll let her warm up a bit. Got an FI light on, but that might just be something silly. So we'll let her warm up a bit and see what the score is. And we kind of ran out of time to get the GSXR over to the dyno before the next video, so we'll probably do a bit of a video on that and do a bit of info about flashing the ECU and things like that. But the FI light turned out to be the pair valve, like the air injection system for the emissions that I disconnected when I had the airbox off and kind of forgot that I'd done it. But that's a fault that we can turn off in the ECU when we flash it, so we'll worry about that at a later date. Next week we should have a video about an R6 engine failure going live, which you guys seem to like videos about engine failures, so hopefully you'll enjoy that one. But other than that, we'll catch you all soon. Thanks for watching.